what strikes me so much is that Count Me In has impacted lives over time. And that is no small thing. And, that's what we all try to do in in the world of events, is not just inspire somebody and then they go off for a coffee break or to check their email before the next breakout session, but that impact, that transformation can be inhabited and, carried with you over time. So, question, editorial comment, but, help me clean that up.
Yeah, I love that. Event planners, it's not just an event where what we're really doing is we're architecting shared experiences. And that has the opportunity to transform someone's life, to change their career trajectory. It's a huge, huge opportunity. And one of my favorite stories, not just for event professionals, but I often end up sharing this story when I'm opening a conference, when I'm the opening keynote, was from my time in Vietnam. So, one of my favorite takeaways from that story is how in Vietnam, whenever I was traveling through the country, regardless of the town, village, city I was in, whenever someone noticed that I was alone, they'd always invite me to join their group. And I thought it was kind of interesting at first, a little awkward, but I started to realize it was happening 95% of the time. And when I dove into the research, I realized that in Vietnam, they actually value collectivism as a country. In many ways, it comes from communism, but how it shows up is they see individuals as secondary to groups. So, one thing that I noticed in the US, whenever we gather together people we know, we often form these tight circles, right? You can picture it, people standing in a circle, talking, catching up. In Vietnam, they're always half circles, as if with their group body language, they're saying a group is never complete. There's always space for someone to join and kind
Mm.
of be a part. And so, just one key micro shift we can all make to keep our physical or perhaps metaphysical circles open, whether it's a virtual event, in person. How do we ensure that when someone is new, maybe isn't part of the community as much, they don't see a bunch of backs turned to them and have to summon all this confidence and courage to break into that pack, but rather they can effortlessly step into that gap in a group and start listening and kind of just ease their way into the conversation, right? Little shifts, these what I call micro interactions, the tiny, seemingly insignificant moments stitched between the larger milestones and projects are actually what matter most. So it's how we can level those up and turn those touch points into greater opportunities for connection and relationship.
That image of the circle, the metaphor I think of is a door or a window that's open. It's so contrary and it's such strong contrast to the Occidental, the Western world, where I'm just thinking, I've been at sound checks with the speaker and, they need their quiet time, their alone time, which is completely valid, understandable, warranted, justified. But in Vietnam, you might have a little bit of a hard time getting out isolated and because, you're being, summoned, if you will, to join an open circle.